Gentlemen, imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, take just one spoon of a simple white powder, and within days you start to feel warmth and vitality return to your body. A surge of energy flowing down there, the kind of firmness and confidence you thought was gone forever. No prescriptions, no side effects, just one small habit each morning. And yet most men over 65 have never even heard of it. I'm Dr. Richard Coleman, a men's health physician with more than 3 decades of experience helping men restore their strength, their circulation, and their confidence. I've worked with thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, and I can tell you one thing with certainty. Decline is not destiny. You can take back control. You can feel alive again. Before we go deeper, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Type the name of your city in the comments. And while you're here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss the health strategies I create specifically for men over 65. Now let's begin. Let's uncover why circulation changes so dramatically after 65 and why fixing this hidden cause could be the most important step you take for your health this year. When a man reaches 65, his body carries decades of living inside every heartbeat. Years of work, stress, celebration, loss, and ordinary days have all left their marks on his blood vessels. And for many men, those marks begin to speak loudly in one very personal way. Circulation down there is no longer the same. I have sat across from countless men who share this quietly. Some speak in frustration, others in embarrassment, some in silence. They often tell me they feel fine in most areas of health. But when the intimate moment comes, the response isn't there. And they wonder if it's only about desire or testosterone. In truth, it's a story of blood flow. Inside your body are miles of blood vessels, thick highways like the arteries in your legs and heart, and narrow side streets thinner than a strand of hair. The smallest of these feed your penis, and they are about 3 times narrower than the arteries in your heart. That means any stiffness, plaque, or inflammation will appear there first, long before you notice it elsewhere. Over time, the once flexible lining of these vessels becomes less responsive. It does not open as quickly as before when you need a rush of blood, and without that surge, firmness becomes harder to achieve or to keep. What makes this frustrating is the slow pace of change. It rarely happens overnight. It creeps in quietly. You may notice mornings are different, or that you need more direct stimulation than before, or perhaps you lose firmness halfway through. These small shifts can slowly steal confidence and make intimacy feel uncertain. But here is the hope. These changes are common after 65, but they are not permanent. Once you understand the true culprit, you can take targeted steps to restore circulation. That is why knowing the science matters. So let me ask you, if you've noticed changes in your own circulation or intimacy after 65, type yes in the comments. If not, type no. Your voice can help other men know they are not alone. And now let's look deeper into the hidden reasons circulation weakens with age, a silent factor that lowers blood flow even when testosterone is normal. It's the overlooked molecule that controls whether your blood moves freely or stays stuck. That's where we go next. When I first began practicing medicine, I thought I knew the reason so many men lost their edge with age. Like many doctors, I assumed it was all about hormones, testosterone, but the truth was waiting in plain sight. I met men whose testosterone levels were still healthy, and yet their ability to achieve or maintain firmness had faded. This pattern kept repeating. That's when I turned my attention to something most men had never heard of: nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is not a supplement, not a vitamin. It is a natural molecule your body produces, and it is the single most important signal for your blood vessels to relax and open. Without it, blood cannot flow freely, especially into the smallest arteries of the body. Think of it like a traffic light. Without the green signal, traffic builds up. Your heart may be pumping strong, your desire may be there, but without nitric oxide, the blood simply cannot reach its destination. Here is the hard truth. Your body's ability to make nitric oxide falls with age. By 40, it has already started to decline. By 60, production may be cut in half. And in the most delicate blood vessels, the ones that fuel intimacy, the effect is devastating. This is why a man can go from confidence to frustration in just a few short years. It is silent, invisible, and deeply personal. Many men turn to medications that promise a quick fix, but these often bring headaches, flushing, or disappointment. They push the system temporarily but never solve the deeper problem, the lack of nitric oxide. The good news is this: you can restore it naturally. Day by day, your body can be given the raw material it needs to rebuild nitric oxide levels. It is safe, it is simple, and it begins with something you can measure in a single spoonful. So let me ask you, have you ever heard of nitric oxide before watching this video? Type 1 if yes, type 0 if no. Your answer might surprise others who are learning about this for the first time. Because understanding nitric oxide is only the beginning. Now we need to explore the habit itself, the one spoon each morning that gives your body what it needs to restore healthy blood flow. That is where we go next. Over the years, I have watched many men chase complicated solutions, strict diets, expensive supplement stacks, workout routines that felt more like punishment than progress. Most of them burned out before seeing real change. The truth is, life after 65 doesn't need more complication. It needs something simple, something easy enough to do every single day, something that becomes as natural as brushing your teeth. That is why I began recommending one spoon of L-citrulline powder each morning. At first, I did not expect miracles. I knew the science. L-citrulline is an amino acid. Your body converts it into L-arginine, and that becomes nitric oxide, the very molecule your blood vessels need to relax and open. But what surprised me was how powerful this small habit could be. A man in his late 60s returned to my office just weeks after starting. He smiled in a way I hadn't seen before. He told me he felt warmer, more energetic, and more confident. He felt like himself again. 1 teaspoon. That was enough to give his body the raw material it needed to restore blood flow where it mattered most. And he was not alone. I have seen men in their 70s and even 80s experience the same transformation. The beauty of L-citrulline is this: it works with your body, not against it. It does not force an artificial rush of blood. It helps you rebuild your natural ability to produce nitric oxide, so the results feel steady, reliable, and real. And perhaps best of all, it is easy. Mix it into water, into juice, even into your morning smoothie. No schedules, no complicated charts, just one small action that sets the tone for the rest of your day. This is what makes it different from quick fixes. This is why it lasts, because it becomes a habit you can stick with for life. So I want to ask you, if adding just one simple habit could change your health and confidence, would you try it? Type yes in the comments if you would. Type no if you wouldn't. Because while this habit restores the body's circulation, also affects something even deeper. It touches the heart, the emotions, the relationships that matter most. And that is exactly what we will talk about next. I have seen men talk openly about their cholesterol, about their blood pressure, even about heart surgery. But when the conversation turns to intimacy, their voices drop, their eyes shift. There is a long pause before they speak. Poor circulation down there is not just physical. It cuts into a man's sense of self. It reaches into confidence, identity, and connection. I remember one patient in his late 60s, a proud, hard-working man. He told me he avoided even small moments of affection with his wife, not because he didn't love her, but because he feared starting something he could not finish. On his face, I could see frustration, but beneath it was something deeper, the quiet grief of feeling that a part of his life had slipped away. This is the hidden cost of poor blood flow. It is not only about performance, it is about closeness. It is about the simple touch of a hand, the warmth of connection, the comfort of knowing you can still share that part of yourself. When circulation weakens, many men begin to hesitate. They second-guess themselves. They may even withdraw from intimacy altogether. Some bury themselves in work, others escape into hobbies. But inside there is a hollow space, a loneliness that can exist even while sitting next to the person you love. The good news is, this can change. I have seen men come back to life when circulation improves, smiles return, conversations feel lighter, touch becomes natural again, energy flows back into relationships. It is not only the body that heals, it is the bond between two people. This is why addressing circulation matters so much. It is not only about restoring physical strength, it is about restoring joy, intimacy, and purpose. So let me ask you, do you believe emotional health is just as important as physical health? Type yes in the comments if you agree. Type no if you do not. Because while emotion fuels the heart, consistency builds lasting change. And the reason one spoon each morning works better than complicated routines is what we will explore next. Over the years, I have noticed something consistent among my patients. It is not that they don't want to take care of themselves. It is that complicated routines rarely last. I have seen men try strict diets. They last a week, maybe two. I have seen gym memberships turn into unused cards in a wallet. I have seen supplement stacks so large they look like a pharmacy shelf. At first there is motivation, but soon the weight of rules and restrictions becomes too heavy. Life after 65 already brings enough challenges. The last thing a man needs is a health routine that feels like a second job. That is why one spoon works. It is simple. It is easy to remember. You don't have to rearrange your day. You don't need charts or alarms. You wake up, you take a teaspoon of L-citrulline powder, you mix it with water, juice, or a smoothie, and you're done. No stress, no overthinking, just one action that sets the tone for the day. And here's the beauty. When something is simple, you stick with it. I have had patients tell me that before this they felt overwhelmed by rules, but with one spoon they finally found something sustainable. They felt their energy rise, their hands and feet warmer, their confidence stronger, and intimacy starting to feel natural again. It creates a chain reaction, one effortless step leading to greater changes. And unlike a quick pill that fades after hours, nitric oxide builds slowly and steadily. It is not about forcing your body. It is about giving it what it needs to do the job naturally. That is why results last, week after week, month after month. The real secret is consistency, and knowing the right way to take it can make all the difference. So let me ask you, do you prefer simple routines over complicated ones? Type simple if you do. Type complex if you don't mind more rules. Because now that you know why simplicity works, it is time to understand how to take this habit correctly. The details matter, and that's exactly what we'll cover next. When it comes to circulation, the details matter. I have seen men try the right supplement but take it at the wrong time, or they mix it with heavy meals that slow absorption. Others stop just when their bodies are beginning to respond. That is why I always recommend making this a daily ritual, not an afterthought, a routine as natural as pouring your morning coffee. The right dose is simple, 1 teaspoon, about 3 grams, first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach. That way your body absorbs it quickly. No competition from heavy food. Mix it with water, with light juice, or with a morning smoothie. Keep it simple. Some men like to fill a glass while the coffee brews. Drink it, and move on with their day. It is so small it's almost impossible to forget, but over time the effect can be remarkable. There are 2 other keys to make it work even better. The first is hydration. Your blood is mostly water. If you are dehydrated, circulation suffers. That's why I encourage men to keep a water bottle nearby throughout the day. The second is movement. You don't need hours in the gym. Even a 20-minute walk after breakfast helps push improved blood flow throughout your body. Small actions that combine with one spoon to create big results. Patience is important too. Some men notice changes in a week. For most, the true benefits show after a month or 2 of steady use. This is not a race. It is an investment in how you want to feel for years to come. Because this is not about forcing your body, it is about teaching your body to open those blood vessels naturally again, the way it once did. So let me ask you, do you see yourself trying this every morning for at least 1 month? Type 30 days in the comments if you would commit. Because once you understand how to take it, the final question remains. Why this powder and why it delivers results that last when others fail? That is what we will uncover next. So here it is, gentlemen. The one spoon I have been talking about is pure L-citrulline powder. Not a gimmick, not a mystery pill, just a simple amino acid your body already knows how to use. I have recommended it to athletes who wanted better endurance, to men recovering from heart procedures, and to countless men over 65 who simply wanted to feel like themselves again. Time after time, I have seen it restore not just circulation, but possibility. What makes L-citrulline remarkable is that it works with your body, not against it. Instead of forcing a quick rush, it helps rebuild your natural ability to produce nitric oxide. That means healthier blood flow, not just to your heart, not just to your brain, not just to your muscles, but to the place that defines your confidence as a man. And because it is safe for most men without the harsh side effects of prescription drugs, you can make it part of daily life with confidence. I have watched men who thought passion was over suddenly return with a spark in their eyes. I have seen marriages warm after years of distance. I have heard men tell me, "Doctor, I feel like I got myself back." That is not just biology. That is life returning. That is what happens when you give your body what it has been missing for years. And all of this comes from 1 teaspoon each morning. It doesn't require rearranging your life. It doesn't empty your wallet. It doesn't put you at risk. It is one small choice made consistently until that choice changes how you feel, how you connect, how you live. So let me ask you, do you believe one small choice can change the course of your health? Type 1 in the comments if you do. Because now you have seen the science, you have seen the habit, you have seen the emotional transformation. The only thing left is the decision to begin. And in the conclusion, I will show you why starting tomorrow morning, not next week, not next month, could make all the difference for the man you want to be. Gentlemen, now you have seen the full picture. You know why circulation changes after 65. You understand how nitric oxide decline quietly robs men of confidence. And you know how 1 simple teaspoon each morning can help restore what time has taken away. This is not about chasing youth. It is about giving your body the tools to work the way it was meant to, naturally, safely, without compromise. I have seen men transform not only in the bedroom, but in the way they carry themselves each day, in the way they connect with their partners, in the way they wake up with energy ready to live. One small habit can ripple through every part of your life. Don't wait another year wondering, what if start tomorrow morning? 1 spoon, one choice, a new chapter filled with strength, connection, and vitality could be just days away. So if you are ready to take back control, I invite you to begin. And before you go, I would love for you to join our community. Hit the subscribe button now. Turn on the bell. Share your thoughts in the comments, because together we can make the years after 65 the strongest, most connected years of your life. The choice is in your hands. Tomorrow morning can be the start of something new.